Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good day wherever you are in the world, and welcome to the next episode of No Dice, No Glory. Sponsored by our jobs that actually pay us money, we're coming to you not at all live from an abandoned arms factory deep under a mountain in West Virginia. We are proud to proffer to you the finest in wargaming coverage. Without any further ado, let's get this show on the road.
Hey, well, thank you, Sean. And we're here with a special edition. This was a podcast that didn't exist 2 days ago. So I'm here with my NDNG brother, Tom Chairborne Mullane.
How's it going?
And with our best friend from Warlord Games North America, I'd like to introduce once again to our fandom, Jon Russell. How you doing today, John?
Hey, guys. Happy day, happy afternoon, happy evening. Hope everything's going well for you guys. You have a great weekend set up. Everything's going cool. And we're pretty excited over here in the Midlands of Oklahoma, so things are going great.
So before we get to the great stuff you have to tell us, yesterday was Thursday. What was the movie? What was the food?
Thursday, one of the daughters had to work, so we ended up watching a couple of episodes. Chloe, what did we eat yesterday? We had, for dinner, what did we have?
Grandma's.
Oh, it's right. There's a Stouffer's thing out there called Grandma's Chicken casserole kind of thing. It's really, really good. I highly suggest it. I think everybody would love it. And also, we watched episodes of Halloween Wars.
Halloween Wars?
Pumpkin. Yeah, they carve pumpkins and stuff. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
it sounds scary.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. People making crazy stuff with pumpkins and glass. Pour sugar and cake fondant kind of stuff. So I wanted to watch The Phantom, but one of the kids was gone, so we'll watch it next time.
Yeah. I just binge watched Wings, which nobody really cares about.
Aha! Classic.
It is. It's really good.
It's the first one.
And I talked somebody in at work to start Dad's Army. So we're starting that tonight.
Oh, excellent.
What is that on? Is that on Netflix or Amazon or?
Dad's Army is on Netflix.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm gonna check that out. I'm making a note for myself.
I mean, I'm embarrassed for us that you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I am somewhat ashamed of myself. I'm sorry.
I mean, Warlord made a whole thing in the Sea Lion game, right?
Yes, we did. There's a whole set of Dad's Army. You can buy the whole set with their, civilian or the LVDs, and then of course their uniforms. And then there's some other stuff you can get along with it, like the Great Pandandrum, which wasn't. They used it in the TV series, but not in the, they didn't use it till D-Day, and then they really didn't use it. It was one of those Hobart's Follies that they're thinking about clearing the beaches for D-Day.
Oh, is it that crazy pinwheel thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. Yeah, one of my students did that. He did a research project.
Yeah, and in fact, the one in Dad's Army's got a remote control. So in Sea Lion, you can actually play with it. It's kind of fun. It's 25 points, fills in the artillery slot. Some people have used it in tournaments. It's usually, it's an orc weapon at heart. Point it and go. And I think it didn't do anything until like the third round of the tournament. Then it just obliterated a building and a couple squads inside of it. But other than that,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Hey, and speaking of new stuff coming out from Warlord, I have it here behind me, but I want to grab it. But I got a signed copy because I was not even 2 seconds after it went live. My Black Powder version 2.
Nice. That's a good book. That's a really good book.
I have to play that game one day.
Oh, well, next time we see each other, we'll bring some armies.
I think we have a lot of stuff to play. And that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. So what's going on? Okay, let's just hit it first. So I threw up on the NDNG Facebook site, Cruel Seas. Yep, Cruel Seas looks hot. I'm very excited for Cruel Seas.
Yeah, it's very nice. But the alligator that's closer to the boat, of course, is the Battle for France. It comes out next month. That's the bolt action book coming out, and there's a lot of neat miniatures. There's some really cool terrain too. Like there's this house they're releasing. There's a house, and the downstairs has been made into a bunker, and then you can remove parts of the house and put holes in the walls and ceilings and stuff. It's going to be really kind of cool. It's going to be a great mix. And then Cruel Seas comes out December 8th. Is when it's going to hit the streets. It's going to the box set is going to have 6 Vosper MBTs, like the British version of a patrol boat, like our PT boats,
Right.
and 4 German E-boats. And then they're going to have a cardboard trawler and all the paraphernalia you need plus the rule book. I believe the price point's about $80, but you get 10 ships, the big rule book, about 100 plus pages. And then the flotillas will come out. They're a lot like the Blood Red Skies box sets, where you'll get 4 E-boats or 6 PT boats. And then the fleets will come out. 4 of the fleets come out in December. 2 of the fleets come out in January, February. And they're going to be 10 ships and an aircraft maybe, and some other things in the box for like $100. And then there might be they're talking about maybe putting I can't believe I forgot the name of it. A lighthouse maybe for a piece of terrain.
Oh, I saw that.
Yep. And then they're going to have some of the markers or resin cast torpedoes, and then of course the sploosh counters. When you're near misses, you'll have the splashes, and so that's all coming out December and January.
The actual name for that was sploosh. I think it's the actual naval nomenclature.
Sploosh. Yep. Not sploosh. But
so the initial box, $80. I'm getting 10 ships.
Yep.
I'm getting Vosper MTBs. I'm getting German E-boats.
Yep.
I'm getting everything I need to play the game. So, and crazy question here. I was like, I want to play Japanese against U.S. What do I have to buy?
In the box set, you British and Germans. Then you can buy flotillas of Japanese, of Americans. You can get the fleets of the Japanese. I think the first 4 fleets are American, British, German, and Japanese, and then the Italians and the Russians come out later. And you'll be able to have that. And then there's some scenarios in the book itself for like landing spies on beaches or getting the armed troop ships onto the beach, like going down the slot Guadalcanal. This is all, knife in the darks, up close and personal actions. There's no real, you won't see a battleship. You're not going to see aircraft carriers. You're not going to see anything much bigger. You might see a destroyer. And the last time I talked to the guys, it was, that was back in March, of course. You could get a destroyer, but it's going to be about 9-10 inches long. It's 2,000 points, and you play 1,000 points usually. So it's not going to be much destroyer Corvette action. It's going to be all that little ship knife in the dark stuff, Well,
and there's a lot of really cool stuff there too. So
yeah.
you've played the game a couple times.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Why do you like it?
It's like Blood Red Skies, but it's on the sea. So, and you have to be more careful on Cruel Seas than Blood Red Skies, because you can actually turn wrong and ram your own ships, which I did. You have to be aware of where your ships are. Whereas in airplanes, in Blood Red Skies, you can fly all over the place and just dodge out of the way. It's a force enhancer. That's the old word we used to use. Force enhancer for your games, because I'll be writing up something over the weekend on how to take Blood Red Skies, Cruel Seas, and Bolt Action and let them all play at the same time and all interact. Like
that's
we talked
awesome.
about. Oh yeah, we did it in the summertime at Warlord Games Con here in Oklahoma City. We had 4 tables. One table was Bolt Action, Guadalcanal. And the table next to that was Blood Red Skies, and we had Betty Bombers coming across the board, and Joe Fawson's Wildcats were attacking them. Now, if the Bettys got off the board, they were able to bombard the Bolt Action table and the Japanese and American, the Marines. So the Japanese get a free bombardment. Other table was Cruel Seas, and that's where some troop ships escorted down the slot, and some PT boats were attacking them. And if they would have made it off the board, they would then give reinforcements to the Bolt Action table, Japanese side. So you can interlink that. Then we're working on another game we've talked about before that it's more smaller action, and it was a Japanese village being infiltrated and neutralized by some Marine scouts. And if they get through, which they did, on the main board for Bolt Action, they were able to flank the Japanese with 2 squads. So you can play all 4 of these together.
Would I be able to buy stock in Warlord Games?
It's still a private held company, hasn't gone public yet. That's probably still down the road, but it's something I'm sure they're looking at. But it's Cruel Seas is a lot of fun. It scratches that itch for that small boat action. I'm really looking forward to it, because I've got a Bolt Action table for Saint Nazaire, and it's got the boat rammed in there, and it's got the beach and everything, and all my commandos. And So now I can do the prelude to that with Cruel Seas, with all the boats and the USS Campbell, the HMS Campbelltown running down the slot there in Nazaire. So I can do all that as well. So, and there's a little bit. I think if you order early and you get the special pack, there's a submarine conning tower included in the special stuff. So, yeah. So there's a little of that too.
So on the 8th. Is that the pre-sale for the game, or is that's like
when it hits the streets? You'll probably be able to start pre-selling, I think, in next week or two. You'll be able to start being in special orders, and then it hits the streets on the 8th. And it's one of those that there's a lot of fun action. It's open seas, and your ship can shoot everything everywhere. So like a PT boat's got, twin link 50 cals on two fronts and a 37 millimeter, so it's all shooting all the stuff out front. Launch a torpedo, throw out some stuff out the back, and there's a 40 millimeter pom in the back, so you can really just spray stuff everywhere.
Tom, are you excited about this?
I have been furiously painting my bolt action guys, so I finished my first squad of Americans, and I'll post an article about that. I need tanks. And I've also been, I've been starting to get into weird stuff. That sounds dirty, but it's not. But like the Vietnam stuff, like making all sorts of weird jungle terrain. And I feel like this is such a weird, unique, fun thing that it fits into a bunch of different stuff that people are doing. So it no matter what theater of the war you're into, it sounds like you've got a fleet that fits that you could tie it up with, which is just really neat. I would definitely buy a flotilla of dudes and drive around.
I think you can do Eastern Front too, because we got the Russian fleet, so you can go do Stalingrad and have the Bone Crater running down the Volga with the.
Oh, that would be an amazing table.
Yeah,
that would be unreal.
So you can interlink all these in. I'll be writing that article this weekend, and you'll see it in the newsletter in the next couple of weeks.
Very cool.
Ah. And you know who would be controlling those Russian boats, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Volga boatmen.
The Volga boatmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's whatever. It's you got to get a good joke. And speaking of inside jokes, so when you were painting, I believe it was your Blood Red Skies, I asked you if you soaked your corks.
Yes, of course. I'm a cork soaker.
And that one guy, he goes, "What do you soak them with?" And
that was funny.
And what does it do? And I'm like, I need to be nice, because we're all about the folks out there too, and it's like a lot of other people got it, so I didn't feel so bad. Yeah,
it was good.
I sometimes I don't know whether to go a little too far because
well, that was all.
I'm banned in some states.
Yeah. Well, that's and thank good for the internet and Sirius. It's all good. We can say whatever we want. All that stuff was in preparation. I'm going to be out in there's a place in New Jersey at Mythicos Studios that we're going out there for the 7th, 8th, and 9th of December. I'll be there in person, and we'll be showing Blood Red Skies. We'll be showing Cruel Seas. We'll be showing Bolt Action. And I'll be showing how it interlinks. So we'll have a table for Stalingrad. We'll have a table for Guadalcanal. So we'll be doing 6 tables, 3 of them interlinked to each other.
Where in Jersey is that?
Yeah.
It's Scanneranros. I'll get the address for you and I'll kick it over to you here.
Okay.
It's I can never pronounce the name of the thing.
Trenton?
No, it's not near Trenton at all. It's
I was thinking if you can't pronounce Trenton, we have other problems.
Yeah.
No, but like I guess I'm the No Dice No Glory tri-state area representative. I'm gonna deputize myself with that title.
Yeah, Succasunna, Succasunna, New Jersey. Succasunna.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it's Mythicos. It's Mythicos. It's nearby. I'm going to expand the map out here. It's on Route 10 to the east to the west of New York, north of Princeton, north of Trenton.
It's in Morris County, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, you're
west of Trenton. Allentown is to the west, New York's to the east, Philadelphia's to the south.
That might not be that far from me. I might actually make that hike because.
Hey, when you guys go there, can you get them to change the name to something that we can pronounce?
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Well, I'm originally a New Yorker, so I have no problem insulting New Jersey. But you know,
it's something we're going to try out. We're testing it, and we're seeing if I'm calling it the Russell's R&R, the Russell's Raiders R&R, R. You know, not pirates, but I mean, it's just a store can ask if we can send a Raider support. What are you doing? And
it looked like a pipe cleaner walked past John's screen.
Nice,
it's just a really adorable cat.
Yeah,
you like that? It's all white, but it's if the store and our schedule allows it, the store can request through our guys in Phoenix, have a Raider come and show something that's coming out that's being released. So this is kind of a big release party for these guys out in New Jersey. They were talking with Billy, one of our salesmen in Phoenix, and my schedule was open that weekend, and it so happens it's a release schedule and release in for Trill C. So I said, okay, fine, that sounds great. So I'll fly out. We'll have a fun 2-3 days. We'll show people how to play Black Powder. I'm going to show them everything that we can that they have in the store. Show them play Black Powder. They've been posting some videos up on our Facebook page. Joe and the guys out there are really starting to get excited. They're doing bolt action. They're doing Black Powder. They're doing Hail Caesar.
I'll tell you what. I will send Tom Chairborne Mullane down there.
Sure.
And as one of only 2 civilians on the staff, I have to follow orders from Mitch.
That's right. Good.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Let me see what else I was going to think of. So, Cruel Seas, December 8th, the day after Pearl Harbor.
All right.
We noticed. Really excited about that. And so our store's going to get that on the 8th. So
it'll be on the shelf. It should be on the shelf. So they'll be pre-ordering it, I think, next week. Okay. And then they'll be able to get in their stores the 8th of December.
If for some reason you do not see on our Facebook page that we announced the pre-order open, please send me a nastygram so I can make sure our folks. I've been getting so many questions about that game.
The day after we talked about it at Nova, we got a couple, and then of course they showed it at the Open in September when they had the Warlord Games Open in September. Yeah, everybody started coming up to our booth and asking questions. I said, "Well, we've been talking about it for 6 months. Here's the rules." And it was funny to watch their eyes kind of pop when they started looking through the rules.
It's a really, and I'll tell you what I like about Blood Red Skies. It is quick. You were showing people how to play in a matter of minutes. It's fun. It's beer and pretzels, but do not think that that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's almost beer and pretzels. Yeah, because I call it chess and space because it's all about setting your maneuvers up. Yeah. We got a lot of release stuff coming out. The mosquitoes are coming out.
Let's talk Blood Red Skies.
Sure. Next month we've got the mosquitoes. Ace Picard's coming out. Hurricane Squadron. We got a Hurricane Squadron's coming out. We got a Polish pilot. Ace Witzold Urban Auschwitz. Douglas Bader's coming out for another Hurricane Ace, and we get another Spitfire Ace, Johnny Johnson. And then later on, January, February, we might start coming out with 110s and 190s with some F-190 aces and 110 aces. And then there's talk we might go into Bullfighters, maybe some different Spitfires, some Defiance maybe. And, of course, we're going to come around with some Stukas and 410s, some Doras, maybe Corsairs, P-51s, maybe P-40s. A lot of people screaming for that. More Japanese stuff. And, of course, we haven't forgotten the Russians with IL-2s and LA-5s and Yaks. And
are the Wildcats out yet?
Oh, yeah, the Wildcats are out last month. And they're metal. And so a lot of these new releases may be metal, maybe resin. Because we're trying to get out. We've got 6 years or 8 years of, some people say 6, some people say 8, depending on how you officially define the beginning of World War II. We've got a lot of airplanes to put out there, and there's going to be a lot, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're working on maybe some rules for ground attack. Let's get the IL-2s in there, Typhoon. So there's expect about every other month or every couple months a big pilot planes come, not falling out of the sky but flying through the sky.
I think that the cool thing about this game, from my point of view, is that it's smaller, it's easier to set up, and it plays quick. And those are things that translate. So I teach high school kids, and I can do that in a classroom. I can play that game, in a half hour.
What we did at NashCon, I had 11 guys come up to the booth. We had to break open another box for the demo set didn't have enough. And we had 22 airplanes on the table. And from, hello, my name is Jon Russell, this is Blood Red Skies, till that's it, the game's over. It was an hour and 45 minutes. 22 airplanes, an hour and 45 minutes.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was just quick and fast. And I think 2 planes might have been shot down. It was just, it's quick and fast. It's a lot of fun. And, you can teach your history as long go along. We were talking about the Stalingrad. So you have a flight of Ju-88s coming on the board, escorted by 109s. And then Yaks can come up with Lydia, the White Rose of Stalingrad, and she'd come up there and try to knock them down. If they get off the board, then the Russians will receive a bombardment on the bolt action table. So they interlink really well. And you can flip that. And then, hey, Ju-52s, here comes some, Faustier makers. Or Russians, you can do Russian paratroopers.
The idea that those things...
What's really cool about that Russian transport, if you buy that Russian transport box, you're actually getting twofer. You're getting a twofer because you look at the data card, it says the transport, Russian transport, and you flip the card over, it's a C-47. So if you want to use that same aircraft, you just cut the top turret off. It's really easy. And now you got C-47s. So you could do D-Day, and you could do, not that like it's coming out soon, but I mean, you could do D-Day, and you could do the 101st and 82nd. You could do Italy. I mean, it's, I hate to say the cliche sky's the limit, but you could really have some fun with your Blood Red Skies linking into your bolt action. It's a match made in the skies.
Once again, when are you guys going to, when can I buy some stock in Warlord Games?
I'm going to go over in December for my final visit for the year, and then I'll start again, but I'll start asking John about that. I'll be out November. I'm going out for a business meeting with all the guys, so I'll ask one of the guys, okay, so people are asking about when we're going to go public with this stock. So.
All right. Well, so last time we talked quite a bit about Korea.
Yep. It's in the second final draft. We discovered that after we did our initial submission that it didn't have enough fluff. We had some constraints that we were limited to, and we tried to do as much as we could, but after stuffing in about 17 scenarios and 5 army lists, there wasn't much room left. So the restraints have been lifted, so now we can put all that fluff back in. So it's going to have a bunch of fluff. There's rumors of maybe a MASH unit. There's a bunch of the second rewrites coming through, and we're getting really excited. We've got I can't tell you what it is, but we've picked the model for the book. So that's really cool. We've seen it on Amazon, and people have already started pre-ordering it. So that's awesome. So it's going to come out early fall next year.
Okay, so after I spoke to you and Steve Smith, who I love, I went and looked to see how to make Turkish soldiers out of existing, and they had U.S. equipment, U.S. uniforms.
Yep. So a lot of the stuff was going to be. Now we have to do some fold-ups like Chinese and North Koreans. We have to do those because we don't have those, but. Anything from the United Nations, they either use British kit or American kit, so a lot of it's going to be head swaps. And then with that new, with the new 8th Army frame, I don't know if you guys have seen the new sprue for the 8th Army. Yeah, it's got 4 different sets of heads on there. It's got the British Tommy, it's got the Highlander, then it's got the Sikh, and it's got the Punjab. So you can use some of those heads even for Korea.
Huh. Wow. And that will be, you said, in the spring
early
or fall?
Early fall.
And it's going to be, it's like a big book, just like the version 2 rules, I guess, right?
Well, it's going to be more like New Guinea, kind of, I don't think it'll be a hardback. Okay. It'll be a thick one. And there'll be some, I was sad to see in June, one of the guys we talk about in the book is Private Speakman. He was a British guy. I think we talked about it in the last. Yeah, he died in June. So that was kind of sad day. But it was good to at least know of him and know what his deeds were. So that's kind of cool that he's in there. And what's funny is not only me and Steve, but some of the guys in the UK now, people say, oh yeah, the Korean War. And then you start talking about it, and you start looking at it. Well, like we did. We ended up talking for an hour and a half in DC about it. And it was so easy. And people are just like, and we barely scratched the surface. So there's a lot of stuff in this book, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And
outstanding.
People have asked, and I'll say no now, and I'll say no when the book comes out. You cannot take a bolt-action Korea army and fight against a World War II army. They're different. They're just different. People said, well, I can go to the tournament. No, you won't be taking a Korean army to a bolt-action tournament. It just, no, it just doesn't work that way.
Is that because the rules are different, or just because the armies are going to be that much better because they're 5 years later?
Well, it's a little combination of everything, because an American guy will call in an aircraft, and it might be propeller-driven, or it might be a jet, and they have napalm. And napalm's a little bit nastier, and was just started being used, in the later part of the World War II to effect. And then we've got naval bombardment and artillery bombardment for the Americans and the British. And there's, because the Navy on the east coast of Korea was used a lot, and it was accurate. I mean, there's, we've all read reports of fratricide from aircraft dropping bombs in the wrong spot, or artillery hitting wrong. Not for naval. Naval was always dead on. So there's going to be a little bit of changes. So if you have a naval observer, he's not going to, when you plot your point and you roll to see if it hits or not,
your
opponent will not be able to move it on one of your own troops because they were that accurate. There was no fratricide from naval bombardments. The Air Force, yeah. Artillery, yeah. Not naval. So there's differences, and there's some idiosyncrasies of the armies that we were used then, and it's just, they're close. And I'm not saying you can't do it at home. Go ahead and take your British and your North Koreans and have a fight. Try your bolt action army against the Korean army, but not in a tournament. Tournaments are a little different.
How did you guys go about building the North Korean lists? Because I'm curious about what those would look like.
It took Steve about 4 months and 5 months of just, because he went through a lot of interrogation records and trying to find a TONE was almost non-existent.
Oh, yeah.
But then, we started finding first-hand reports, and we had found some interrogations and just looking through things in the field. We finally found some unclassified or declassified materials that are open source. We started finally getting together a list. And it's, there's Mongolian horse troops, and there's motorcycles, and there's tanks, and there's just conscripts, and it's and we have different rules a little bit in there. When Koreans fight Koreans, they're both fanatics, because there was a lot of love lost between those two when they met each other on the battle.
Yeah.
Wow. And there's some idiosyncrasies for the Chinese, with the bugles and grenades are going to be a little different for the Chinese. So there's just enough differences that you'll see when it comes out. But it's going to be a book that I think people are excited. People are going to like it. And all you got to do is get a Korean army or Chinese army, and you're done.
Yeah.
All your bolt action stuff will transfer. So that same squad of Americans that you buy for bolt action that worked in K-47 and now work in Korea. So it's going to be, straight across. And new tanks, of course. They're the bigger tanks, the Pershings and the M48 Pattons and stuff. They'll be in there, and the more artillery, and the recoilless rifles are used a lot too. So there's a lot more recoilless rifles. And Steve did many nights spent in front of the computer, running down rabbit holes, trying to find different TONEs for the Chinese and the North Koreans. I think you're going to be pleased.
I'm excited.
I know you
will. Cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm buying it. I might start painting up Americans, and we'll have a full swarm of UN type troops.
Oh yeah. And the beauty of this is the rule book will have the army lists in there, and then we can do PDFs of the Turks and the Greeks and the Colombians and the Ethiopians and the Bulgarians, and it's just a matter of buying the heads and swapping on some bodies.
All right.
I think I might be doing that.
I'm sold.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, spoil something else. So before we go to spoil something else, or at least ask you, I painted up my Strontium dog.
Ah, very nice.
I have not played it, but I am supposed to be playing in a charity tournament tomorrow. Actually, we're running it. No Dice, No Glory. I may bring it with me to show other people. But it's interesting news that we talk about. So I was in a comic book store that opened up less than a mile from my house, and the guy wants to put games in there. And yeah, and I go, do you have the comic book? Am I saying it? Strontium Dog?
Yeah, 2080 Strontium Dog. Yep. And
I showed it to him on your website, and he goes, wait, they do Judge Dredd? So I may have a new friend for you, Steve. John, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'll call you Nick, I promise. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he calls me by a different name. So, it's just I cannot wait to play that game. I had a lot of fun playing it and talking to people about it too.
Yeah,
is people like that sounds very interesting, and I really want to start getting into it and playing it. And go ahead.
No, I was saying, go ahead and finish.
No, that was about it. I was just going to say how much I liked it, but I think everybody knows.
I've had people come up to this. It's been out long enough that there's some fans out there that come up and go, "Oh my God, Strontium Dog," and they just start buying all the stuff because they know what it's about. Just for conversation, let's say if I showed that game to 9 people or 10 people, 9 people ended up buying it. I had one guy at up there at Lansing, Michigan, at the Michigan GT we were at last weekend. He sat down with his friend. We didn't even get through the first half of the first turn. And he said, "Okay, we're done. I'm going to buy it." I mean, he just moved Johnny on board, started kicking butt with Wolf, and he's like, "Oh, this is it. I'm going to buy it. Just wrap it up. I'm done."
Yeah, it's because I know I got it and Dion got it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's a game like I wasn't even playing it, but just like the way the mechanics of the game flow, the fact that it really to say it has a pulp aspect to it it's a comic book.
Oh, sure.
And it plays really good.
Yeah, Gav Thorpe and Andy Chambers did a great job of writing that up. And because we've got access to 2000 AD, we got the license for the whole Rebellion comic book that you may see in the very near future. ABC Warriors, you may see Rogue Trooper, you may see Slain, you may see Torquemada, and you'll see the big guy with a helmet as well, real soon, probably.
Yeah, I cannot wait to play that. I am bringing it with me to Fallen.
Oh, cool. Now, I'll be at the same weekend Fallen is. I'll be up in Round Rock, Texas. I should say down in Round Rock, Texas, just outside of Austin for MoniaCon. But we'll have representation at Fallen. If you go over to the booth, Wolf booth, Doug Hauser and Tegan Hauser will be there representing Warlord Games for us.
Yes, I know, because he's one of my new it's weird. This is kind of how everybody knows you, John. I was talking to Doug, right? Doug from Wolf.
Yep.
And I picked up all of his Russians, and I said, I don't even have a game to play this with. I just love Great War. And we were just talking, and, he drops your name, and I go, everybody knows that guy.
Yeah.
He goes, you like John?
Yeah, well, after our last podcast, we were up there at Michigan GT, and I was talking with somebody, and the guy walks up to the booth, he goes, "Oh, I know that voice anywhere." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I've been listening to all your podcasts." So I'm like, "Oh, well, there you go." So it's going to be a small world.
Well, and you can come on anytime. We do love you here.
Well, I was glad that you guys will be able to do something because there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike. I mean, it's going to be, we got Cruel Seas coming. We got all that stuff for Boltac, for Blood Red Skies. We're just still releasing all the stuff for Desert War. Now here comes Battle of France. So all that stuff's coming out. And then we've got, the stuff next year, probably there's a big anniversary next year around June, so something might be out around that time. And then we've got the Korea book coming out, and then we've got the Man in the Helmet might be showing up somewhere. So there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike, and it's going to be pretty damn exciting.
Yeah, it sounds pretty exciting. So you guys just hit us with 2 months ago? Was it September? We did Western Desert. You guys got Western Desert out.
Mm-hmm.
And so are we going to see a new theater every 2 months?
I don't know if I can say every 2 months, but at least a quarter. I'd say probably every quarter you'll see something new. And everybody's getting a little bit of love. We might be, and we're bouncing back and forth. We're doing some early war stuff right now, Battle of France, and we're doing the Western Desert 42, 43. but then we might go back to old war stuff. There's a lot of stuff over in the Hungary area that we could probably touch, and the Germans and the Soviets and the Hungarians, and then we'll probably bounce back to that little special day in June. We'll probably do something around there. And then Korea, and then place we haven't gone to in a while, South Pacific. So there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff coming.
Oh, so that I'm excited for. I don't know what I'm going to collect next.
Oh yeah. It's funny. Eric Fontaine, our Rockstar Raider, he put up a thing up on Facebook about what should I do next. He held up the 8th Army box, or should I do the DAC? So he's got people voting on which army he should do next. So he's happy with that one. And those DAC, I don't know if you've seen the DAC sprues. I am so amazed at the quality and the intricate stuff on these sprues. The Africa Corps heads, there's about 20 of them on a sprue, and they'll have either the peak hats, helmets, or they even got the pith helmets, the early war stuff, and then they got bandanas up over their noses or wrapped around their heads, or they got goggles hanging around their necks or on their heads or on their hats, and there's almost every head's got a goggle or something. So they're just, and then there's yes, we finally decided to do it, an anti-tank rifle on the German sprues. You don't have to keep robbing them from the British anymore. And it comes with that. And then the British one, on the 8th Army one, comes with some sandbags. You can stick it up on there. So both sprues will have anti-tank rifles on them, so quit robbing them. So that'd be good. So those sprues are just beautiful. And then, with the Fall of France, the metal Fallschirmjäger summer outfits that they released with Desert War, the poses are so dynamic. The MG34 guy running across with the sling, and it's just, they're beautiful models, and they're just, some guys are wanting to buy them and use them for Europe because just paint them gray because they're early war Fallschirmjägers.
I saw the DAC sprues. I saw somebody that bought a box, and I go, "Hey, can I check it out?" And they're just beautiful looking sprues with all the different heads. Like you have a lot of different options there.
Oh yeah.
And just thinking of picking up, and then some guy posted on Facebook. He was painting his German chaplain for the Desert War. And did you see that?
No, I haven't seen that one. That's awesome.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah.
You saw that? Yeah. I mean, I'm really liking bolt action. I just really need more events in the area.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm digging it.
Well, it's good because I don't know about you. We all dig playing it here. So, Is there any spoilers you're not allowed to talk about?
It was really slick, Mitch.
Well, he knows it's my bait too. I talked about the guy in the hat. I talked about a special beach, and I talked about a certain little peninsula. So we're getting some good ones there. Let me check my little list here. What else did we talk about? We talked about Strontium Dog.
Yeah.
More stuff's coming out for that.
And I found a store that they play the hell out of Gates of Antares.
Oh, that is starting to. More and more people are starting to come up to our booth asking about that, and there are more stuff coming out. There's more things in the pike. It's starting to, I think what's going on is we're finally starting to get vehicles for everybody. Now, will we have a plastic Bormites? I don't know. I don't think so. Will we have plastic Historians? Well, I don't know. I do know that the science fiction is starting to really catch on, and the Doctor, our Doctor Who game is really kicking off. And I don't know if you've seen pictures, but we will have the 13th Doctor in miniature form here soon. So that's going to be just phenomenal. The Gates of Antares, I think, is finally, people are starting to see that it's a clean rule set. They like that Rick Priestley wrote it. It's a D10 system. I'm seeing more and more people coming from that other game that shall not be named that are starting to play it more. And they're even using our dice pick or out of the bag instead of using the I go you go kind of thing for their games. So Impulse, I guess some people call it the Impulse system of pulling the dice out of the bag. Same thing that works for Strontium Dog. So it's a good time to be. It's so easy to get into. It's so much fun. Me and Tony were here this weekend. Actually, we're not going anywhere, so we decided to go down to the local game store and actually play a game of Gates of Antares yesterday, and we had a ball. I played Asorians and he played Gar. We were there for a couple hours and just had a ball. It was nice being able to play a game for once.
Yeah, because you still have to game.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what are you guys finding? Like, what is the new hotness? Is it the historicals or is it the more fantasy type games?
Yes, it
It's
actually
both.
depends. Yeah, for some reason, Missouri's a hotbed for Gates of Antares. Everywhere we go there, everybody's playing it. It's just crazy. Now we're up in Lansing, Michigan. There's starting to be some more. And then now with that new Black Potter, that's our best seller. It's always been our best seller. It's been out for the
Black
longest.
Powder's your best seller.
Yeah, it's been around the longest, and it's been out there the most. Bolt actions nip at the heels real hard, but it's and that new Waterloo box set is just it's so damn tempting. $112, you get the rule book and 100 soldiers, 28 millimeter. I mean, holy crap! It's too easy not to get into bolt action to Black Powder. I mean, and it's just a fun game. It's the rules are beautiful. You've got the rule book. I mean,
I do.
It's well written. It's well done. It's a lot of fun. We're working on trying to figure out how to make it a tournament game because we want to play tournament Black Powder. It's going to be tough. Pick up. It goes from 1700 to 1945. So I mean, holy crap! Talk about trying to figure out. You have to pick okay, what century you want to fight in. But we're having a lot of fun with it, and we're working on. I know we've got maybe a Western Plains supplement maybe that's in the works. We've got some stuff that's just it's so versatile. You can go to the deep dark Africa to up on top of Africa with Sudan. You can go down to the Zulus. You can go to anywhere in Europe. You can go to the French Indian War. You can go to American War for Independence. You can go for Civil War, War between the states, wherever you are. And then you got the English Civil War, and then all the way up to about 1918, 1920. Then it kind of stops, or 1890. Then you'll go into bolt action. So it spans 200 years, and it's just phenomenal. It's a lot of fun, and the miniatures are just beautiful.
Yeah, I need one of your raiders or so, or maybe our own Mad Varnish, to really just sit down and show me the game because I have probably 100 and almost 200 28 millimeter French and British that I really want to get into a steady 28 millimeter game with my Napoleonics. It's real. Everybody has their favorite.
Oh, sure. Well, they released a video with Rick Priestley and Connor, the guy in the store at the UK, doing a quick run through of the new Black Powder rules on our Warlord Games YouTube channel. And there's some there. They released it last couple of days. But there's nothing like, and I'll say this, I say this everywhere I go, there's nothing like a nice, well laid out, decorated table and some phenomenal painted miniatures. I tell you what, Mitch, those guys up in Lansing, Michigan, of all, I've been from Las Vegas to Nova and DC, and I've been to Lansing, Michigan, and down to Dallas, Texas. This year, I think I'm going to top out about 25,000, almost 30,000 miles going to all these tournaments and conventions and stuff like that. And last weekend at Lansing, there was 12 guys playing the bolt action tournament, and the level of painting on their bolt actions and the level of thought. There was 2 Polish resistance armies. There was tons. I mean, there was Italian cav, there was Polish cav, and that warms my cockles in my heart because I'm the guy that helped write the cavalry rules. So I mean, I just saw these horses on the table. I loved it, but everybody's army of those 12 guys were painted to a level I have not seen across the board. I mean, usually there's a guy that's really, really good, so mediocre. Everyone was excellent. It was so difficult for me and Jeff Wertala and Paul Long and Tony Radford to pick the best painted army because everyone had certain different things that were just phenomenal. I've never had that much difficulty picking a bolt action army. They were just go on our website on the Facebook and check it out. But there was just phenomenal paint jobs. It was very, very first I've ever seen that all 12 had beautiful painted armies.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, the models are great. My problem is I'm an average painter, and I just still don't think I don't think painting Canadians not that hard, but like the Denison smocks, that's me. But the models alone, even if you're an average painter, they look pretty good. I got to go check these pictures out.
Oh yeah.
I'll check it out too.
Go on the Facebook page. I think Tony pasted them all, or Jeff did, and I've got to get you. That reminds me. I got to send you a copy of the newsletter just came out. So I'll get you guys in on that. But yeah, it was just great. It was just phenomenal. And we had a lot of fun. It was. We're looking forward to going back. It was great hotel, great place, great people. I had a phenomenal time. I'm glad we finally got up there, and we're trying to get all over the place. We're trying to find the next event for Warlord Games come next year. We might be moving to April instead of June or May, so we're trying to get that locked down, and we're trying to get to places that we haven't been. Like we might be able to go to Huzzah next year, so that's gonna be exciting. We're working on LVO May, right now. Yeah. In May, middle of May, and then we're going to LVO. We're going to Genghis Khan. I know that for sure. And then we've got this weekend is open, but actually some of my raiders will be at RockCon up at Rockford, Illinois. And then next weekend after that, we're off. And then the weekend after that, we'll be at Midwest Game Fest in Kansas City. Week after that, we'll be in, like I said, LinnyCon down around Rock. That's a phenomenal, great little tournament and convention. And then week after that, I go out to Phoenix. Then, of course, it's Thanksgiving. The week after that, we're looking to try to figure out PAX East Unplugged in Philadelphia. We might just go recon that and see if it's, I hear a lot of good things about it.
Thanks so much for joining the show tonight. Remember to follow us on Twitter at No Dice, No Glory, and keep the conversation going on NoDiceNoGlory.com, now featuring our own message boards. Have a great night, everybody.